Thumbtack presents Uncertainty Strikes. I was surrounded. The aisle and the options were closing in. There were paint rollers, satin and matte finish, angle brushes, and natural bristles. There were too many choices. What if I never got my living room painted? What if I couldn't figure out what type of paint to use? What if I just used Thumbtack? I can hire a top-rated pro that knows everything about interior paint, easily compare prices, and read reviews. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top. It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
Basketball.
Forget that. Forget basketball and John Tesh. We should have the Eagles right here. Peaceful, easy feeling. Walker Kessler, stream bed, Serenity Now, towering stone walls. I love Utah. Trees in the background. Forget all this drama, PK, about turning down the $140 million. He loves his teammates. Loves the place. Loves the coaches.
Facilities.
Loves the facilities. Loves the fans. Yeah, a little recruiting speak. Everyone calm down. Walker's good. Were you reassured by the Instagram post?
No.
Oh, never mind then.
Did he sign the contract?
No. Not that I'm aware.
See, that's two different things, though.
Yeah.
I wasn't alarmed in the first place.
Solid.
Because this is about a business end. There's so much more to it than emotions. It's the business, and emotions go where they go.
Yeah.
But the business end of it, I have no problem with him. If I'm Jazz executive management, I have no problem with him being upset. I want him to think that he's a top 5 center in this league. Because in order to be a top 5 center, you got to think it first, or at least at some point have that confidence that I'm really that good. And so if I'm Will Hardy, I just go to Walker, who's still obviously a young man, and say, listen, Walker, there's this guy. He's in the league. He's really popular right now. Every single team passed on him. Every single team. Every team. And then the team that drafted him in the second round didn't think he was good enough at the price he wanted to re-sign him. And that's according to their former owner, who has now come out and said this publicly. We didn't think so. And so then he goes to New York, and we know what Jalen Brunson does. Be Jalen Brunson. Don't be like Mike. Be like Jalen. Go prove every single doubter wrong. This is your opportunity to show the world, a la somebody who is literally a foot shorter than you, do what he's done. You can be that way and have that kind of impact in your own way. And as long as you don't, I never bought that folks hate it here. There's nothing to totally hate. You got to go out of your way to find stuff that you don't hate. I mean, you don't like.
Especially because they live inside the bubble.
Yes,
they
house,
drive from work,
practice facility,
and they're there
game.
they're there for hours.
Every day, for months on end.
Yes, 1/3 of their life in the town they play in, 1/3 of their life on the road, and 1/3 of their life in the summer, wherever home is, wherever they go, wherever they set up their base.
It's far more important, and it isn't even a necessity, that you like the guys. Because they are the ones you are with every day.
You're really not hanging out with the neighbors that much.
Yeah, you just don't have the time. So even if you couldn't stand it, you don't have time not to stand it.
It's true. I mean, you're leaving 2, 3 in the afternoon, but you're going to be in there 7 in the morning.
Yeah, and you go home and chill out until your body can relax and get you sleep, and away you go. Now, I do like the fact that he, rest assured, as far as the community and putting down the roots. And that's the great thing about it.
Let's see how good an offer he can get, how big an offer he can get. What is someone else willing to pay him? Because To quote the Godfather, PK, is it personal or is it business? I always forget that quote.
Just tell Mike that it's business, nothing personal. And so you have this opportunity. If I'm the Jazz, I'm totally fine with the way Walker Kessler thinks. I would want everybody to shower me, too, what the first opportunity. Well, it didn't turn out that way. But it's not the end of the world by any stretch.
DJ PK, let's get to the National Basketball Association.
Hashtag NBA.
Trae Young declines a $48.97 million option. Can't help but hear that and think, maybe there's another guard who can handle the ball a little bit, shoot the ball a little bit, who would fit quite nicely there. Who will bid against Washington? Will they bid against themselves? Does Trae Young just want more years? How's this all going to shake out?
Well, I can't imagine he would get more money.
Right? Hasn't been enough winning. One good playoff run and a trip to the conference finals in Atlanta. He's older, he's smaller, he started to have some injuries, although this year they might have been overplayed because they were tanking. He did strain a knee this year and then was out a long time.
Okay.
James Dolan will not go into the second apron to keep the world champion New York Knicks together. Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet, Jose Alvarado, all staring at impending free agency. Alvarado has a $4.5 million player option. So Dolan's drawing a line in the sand.
Well, those are all
Role players.
guys.
These are all rotational guys coming off the bench.
I wouldn't go into any apron for any of those guys either.
Right. But what does this mean for when Brunson is up and can go get more cash?
You give it to him.
But if you're not going into the second apron, it'll be at the expense of somebody else.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
What did the Cincinnati Bearcats know, and when did they know it? That is the question being asked around college football now. Will there be penalties? Was Brendan Sorsby doing something?
Who's
Did they
gonna
cover
give
him up?
Penalties.
The Big 12?
And I'll just take you to court. That Big 12 has no desire to
Dig up dirt?
continue this story.
Yeah.
They want to
Well,
talk football.
The story will continue with the Sorsby in Cincinnati because the Cincinnati coaches are now expecting a lot of calls from NFL teams. What's
Right,
this
but
guy's
that's a
deal?
football story.
Yeah, that'll be more football.
That's fine, football. But then, who cares what Cincinnati knew and didn't know?
There are people who care, but I get your point that the Big 12
The
might not be
Texas
eager to
Tech
find out.
People care because they want the heat off them and put
Yes.
it on Cincinnati.
But one vote's not enough. You need the rest of the league to
It's
care.
a dead story now. Go play football.
In the NFL.
Let the NFL handle it.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Shohei Ohtani on the hill. Good, but not quite as magical. Dodgers do beat Tampa. They sweep the series. Dodgers win 5-4. Shohei goes 6 innings, ends up with a blister and his finger bleeding and gives up 4 runs. But the Dodgers rally and they win 5-4. Big home run in the 6th inning. Put them on top. Got him the W.
Yeah, that's Tampa Bay to you, not Tampa.
Tampa Bay
We
Rays.
don't call them green.
Not anymore.
It's Green Bay.
For Shohei now, 7 runs in his first 10 starts. Now he's given up 12 runs in the last 2 starts.
Giving up.
No, he's given up 6 runs in the last 2 starts.
Whoa,
Yeah, I know, right?
back that up.
6 times 2. Stop it. But 6 runs in the last 2 starts. So the ERA is now well over 1. It's up to 1.47. All these pitchers who we're seeing dominating, who would you, if you get to start a staff, that imaginary thing? Skeens, Skubal, Mizorowski, Ohtani, anybody else? There's a bunch of, for an era where starting pitchers aren't the stars they used to be, I think there are some players here who are either establishing or have established themselves as stars. Those 4 off the top of my mind.
I would go Miz. He's hitting 104. I like velocity.
Just bring it. Bring the heat.
Yeah.
Get the ball across the plate so fast you can't get the bat through the zone.
He's doing very well right now. Skeens is kind of leveled off a little bit. Ohtani, I'm still torn if I want him as a full-time hitter
Because you want those 50 homers and those 50 stolen bases.
And all the other stuff. And he doesn't, it's about driving in runs, too. And he bats first, so he's going to have a lesser opportunity if he batted 2 or 3 spots lower. But they're winning, so, everything's fine there. They don't need to worry about that. I still think starting pitching is extremely important. But you can argue that the depth of the bullpen is just as important, and I'm fine with that.
Celebrating the Knicks in New York, Brunson and Hart throw out the first pitch at the Yankee game, and then the Yankees go out and beat the White Sox 10-5. New York flying. That's now 8-1 in their last 9 games.
Did I ever tell you my Reggie Jackson story in Oakland?
Yeah, it's a great story. You can tell it again if you want.
No, I don't want to then.
Okay. You got his autograph because your mom stared him down.
Because she knew his girlfriend's wife at the time.
And he was going to take off, and then he realized, this can't get back to him, so I got to sign this autograph. And then that led to an avalanche of autographs. All the kids right behind you. Close the gap.
And a picture of me smiling with a big 12-year-old grin and him looking at the camera, not smiling.
I'm stuck here.
Little did we know, a former and a future Sun Devil.
Right? College World Series, North Carolina knocks out West Virginia, so the Big 12's eliminated. North Carolina wins 12-7. Oklahoma beats Georgia 11-4. Now it's North Carolina and Oklahoma, the last 2 teams standing. They go undefeated through their brackets there in the double elimination tournament, so now it resets, and they'll play a 2 out of 3 series starting Saturday.
Years ago, speaking of the Sun Devils, probably about 15 years ago, it was double elimination, except when you got to the final, so CBS or one of those stations could,
it was CBS,
could broadcast it.
Yeah, they won one game.
And the Devils were undefeated, and they finished with the same record as, I think it was USC.
But the other team's the champ.
Yeah. So jacked up, man.
When they went to ESPN, they went to 2 of 3, and then it made much more sense.
Yes.
Because otherwise that formula was fraudulent.
It was.
Network TV money.
They stole a World Series title from us.
Potentially. You don't know how the next game would have
Oh,
gone.
I do, too.
Oh, you do. Now you know. All these other times. Well, you don't know how it would have played out.
That one I know.
Okay.
So I'm glad to see that they changed that, and it is rightfully done 2 out of 3. I like that a lot.
Saturday, that series will get underway. The Tar Heels and the Sooners. Tacoma beats the Bees 12-6 in 10 innings. Break it open in extra innings. Same 2 teams will go at it again tonight. DJ and PK.
#golf.
U.S. Open just getting underway. The first groups are out on the course. No early birdies, PK.
They're all E.
Pars and bogeys. That's what we've got. We got a handful of guys who are now, 9 guys out on the course even through 1 or 2 holes. But they are just underway.
And myself and Carl Tobler won the 2-man at River Oaks on Tuesday.
Yeah? What do you get for that?
$20.
Sweet.
I had the best round of my life. I kind of shorted myself money because I had to split it.
Yeah.
I couldn't take home the entire pot.
Couple birdies and an eagle. Look at you go.
I know, but I didn't get the skin. Somebody else also eagled. Fetch.
Got it.
The elusive skin is eluding me. Hence elusive.
All right, we will have more golf coming up. Brian Taylor's going to join us 8 o'clock. And we will get the latest from Shinnecock Hills, where they're just barely underway. First round of the U.S. Open. DJ and PK.
#NHL.
Well, the Las Vegas Knights made it official. Why did
the Golden Knights?
Las Vegas Golden Knights made it official. Tampa Knights. Bay, Rays, Devils, Golden. Ryan Craig, 44 years old, last 3 years coaching the AHL affiliate, gets promoted. He is the head coach. Tortorella was just a bridge to the future. Thanks for getting us to the Stanley Cup Finals.
And he doesn't even have to move because the team was in Henderson.
Yep.
Or is in Henderson.
Right.
So he can just take the 215 right over, hit the I-15, and you're there.
Bang. Not our 215, their 215.
And that 215, I always got confused because it was called the Bruce Woodbury Freeway. I know it's not of the former legendary sports information.
They
director.
can have Bruce Woodbury at 215, but they can't call the 215 Bruce Woodbury. That's just too much Utah.
But it was spelled differently. There's different ways to spell Woodbury.
Of course. Yeah, that's true. Got your single R's, your double R's, your U or your E. Yeah, they got options. So now Tortorella looks somewhere else, and Ryan Craig steps in, and high expectations, but hey, that's why he wanted the job. No learning on the job. Go get it. All right, that is what is trending. Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Call the experts, Shamrock Plumbing, and they will take care of you. All right, DJ and PK. We'll go to the U.S. Open coming up with Brian. And we've got the question of the day next. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1.
This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LeCoe.
He is the president of basketball operations for the Utah Jazz. Austin Ainge, kind enough to join us. Is there a point where you lock your board down and say, okay, we're all on the same page. Let's not overanalyze this. This is all what we're feeling, and let's just stick with it.
I think at some point after we get everybody in and spend our time with them, and that's kind of the final bit of information that we haven't been able to gather. And again, I don't want to overrate that and say that everything comes down to a few meetings with us. We'll just try to not lock it in until then. And then, pretty shortly thereafter, we'll kind of just say, all right, this is what we're going to do. These two, this is number one, this is number two. If one's there, we take them. If one's gone, we'll take two. And that's the way we'll do it.
Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, it's your ceiling vent, so I'm dripping. Could be the rain, could be the upstairs bathroom. Yikes. You could hire the guy your neighbor recommended, but I'm pretty sure that's just his cousin. Do we know if he's licensed, or does he just own a ladder?
Listen to your home. Go with Thumbtack. Upload a photo or voice note, and we'll diagnose your project and match you with the right pro for the job. Thumbtack. We know homes. Hire the right pro today.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for the question of the morning. Walker Kessler going to social media to refute the claims he doesn't want to be in Utah. What's his value to the team?
Yeah, that's the bottom line, right?
That is the bottom line. How much better does he make the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, and how much do they want to pay him, and how much does he want? And then when you settle that, that will be settled. Then what is his value to the team this year? I could argue that his value is he going in his fifth year? And I realize he missed last year. Will be at an all-time high, because this is the first time he's been on this ball club with the intent to win as many games as possible, and that obviously has not been the intent.
Jay says Walker should accept the Jazz offer, period. Based on his past, that's a killer deal for him. Yeah, well, based on the NBA's past, there might be more out there.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about this, is because it is some based on his past, but it's also a projection for the future.
Yes, and as the cap goes up, if Walker improves and he's locked in for 5 years, he's going to be a steal.
And he doesn't want to be a steal.
No, he doesn't. He wants top dollar and top value.
And we can all say, wow, $20 million, $25 million. I get that, but that's a different world.
Everybody wants the most, even in a world where the most is so much more than any of us can imagine. They usually still want the most.
You want it commensurate to the value that you believe you bring. And whatever that is. It probably is the most. But... And two, now, I think we're still in the negotiating phase. We haven't gotten down to a deadline.
Totally agree. It's June.
Yeah.
If this is where we are in August, maybe it's different.
And we won't be. I was thinking July.
I would agree.
When the bidding really starts.
I think it'll be solved in July and all.
Just not July 4th there. Big K.
No, thank you, Utah.
Yeah.
Hey, it was really important, but I didn't come in.
Well, yeah.
I was out of town. But I like the statement, and if those who haven't seen it, I'll read it. I've seen what's being said, and I want it to be clear that I have always wanted to be here. I love this city, these fans, my teammates, my coaches. That's real to me. You don't go roots where you don't want to be. I thought that was an excellent statement.
I thought it was on point. It sounded genuine to me. Other people might, think, hey, this is all negotiating, and maybe it is, but I took it at face value.
And it was deep, but yet brief, which is even better. He didn't go to the Players Tribune to write a big spiel that nobody believed anyway.
Didn't require 8,000 words.
Yeah. And so
Couple
he puts
of
it
sentences
out there.
is good.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Literally 3 sentences, and he's done. He's in. He's out.
Jared, well, of course he wants to be here. Then in parentheses, with the highest contract any team could offer, in parentheses, and then 3 laughing emojis, and the tongue is the dollar bill, and the eyes are the dollar sign.
I think that's the case, but at least to some degree. I don't know that I could do more often than not. Did Carlos Boozer really want to come to Utah at the time? Now, it worked out, and he played here as a fine player. He's employed, and so he likes it here, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about the time when he was with the Cavaliers.
Carlos Boozer made multiple moves, right? He was in Cleveland. He was in Utah. He was in Chicago. And then later, wasn't he in L.A.?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was never left with the impression that any of that had to do with the cities. Carlos was about basketball and business. So it came down to, can you win and how much money can you make? Which isn't a bad way to shape your career.
I don't know that I blame Carlos Boozer for anything.
Right. Yeah. He took the path he took, and, he says later he regrets one of the moves. I mean, sometimes you make a move and it doesn't work out.
I remember, he was a second-round pick too, wasn't he?
He was a second-round pick.
Yeah, so for a second-round pick, he had a phenomenal career.
Absolutely.
There's no question about it.
Yeah. Well, most of the second-round picks don't make the league.
Right.
Or if they do, it's super brief.
And he was on the Olympic team.
Yes.
He did all that stuff, so man, he superseded his draft position big time. Good for him.
Brian says Walker wants to be on a team that has the chance and the will to win an NBA title. So he's playing the game on a couple of levels, and you can quote me on that, exclamation point.
Well, right now it is a game, and both sides play this game.
Yep, because it's June.
And they go back and forth, yeah.
August and September will be late, but if they go back and forth in June, and if there's a little drama in July, that's the nature of the beast.
And it could, in a sense, backfire on the Jazz, too, because Team XYZ could just throw $40 million at them.
Yes.
And you can have 3 players above $40 million.
Doesn't seem like that would be a good idea, no.
No.
You'd have to go out and find a value replacement at center. You probably wouldn't get someone as young and athletic and as long and all that kind of stuff.
No.
But you only have so many dollars to work with.
Right.
Don't want to paint yourself into a corner. You're going to have to pay other people later, presumably.
So they have to figure that out. And
we'll see when he comes back with an offer what it looks like.
Right, but they have to figure that out ahead of time, though.
They do. And I think they already have.
To a degree. I don't think you can get right down to the literal dollar.
That's probably true. And they're, how many years, how much money, but I think they have a pretty good ballpark.
Oh, sure, because everybody knows how much money everybody has
right
available. What they don't know necessarily is what the ownership is willing to do as far as going over, or can they jettison players.
I'd agree with that. My
There's a lot
guess
of stuff
with,
that go into it.
My guess is with Ryan Smith is that right now he doesn't know.
He didn't know what?
How far he'd be willing to go over. I think the push is going to come to shove. I don't think next summer. I think it's more likely in 2 summers. But any acquisition could change that. But as we sit here today, I think that's where the money's really going to start to get tight, and even tighter in 3 summers. And I could see him, unlike Dolan, drawing the line. Now, Dolan just won a title, and Ryan wants to win. So I could see Ryan going into the second apron briefly and then dropping back. the penalties compound. If you don't drop back, at some point he's going to. But if they show well the first year, but they don't have any playoff experience, so don't expect him to go very far. But then the second year, they do something like the Knicks did, where, okay, you have 1 year out in the first round, but you have another year where you're in the conference final. Is he just going to want to break that up in 2 years? Or will he bite the bullet and pay a little extra to see, okay, if we bring him back one more time, what happens?
Well, money's not a problem.
Right.
Well, I think you just answered your question.
Well, it depends how close they get. How close do they feel like they are to a championship when it gets to it?
But if they're further away, then that just means you got to spend more, not less.
But you might let some of the big earners go because they didn't get you that close to it.
Big deal. So you're just, instead of playing player A, you're paying player B. So the money will still always be required to be spent. The names can change, and the names will change. But the amount of money you're going to have to spend, yeah. So I don't think that's an issue. The issue is getting the talent, not are you going to spend the money. Yeah, they're going to spend the money, but are you going to get the talent?
Steve says another millionaire wants more money, and another billionaire doesn't want to pay it. Who cares?
I don't necessarily think they don't want to pay it. I can't say that they don't want to pay it. I think they will pay it. They just have to see what it is. And where are they in negotiation line? How far away? They have to be responsible. You just can't go out there and just give everybody whatever. And so they owe it to themselves, to the franchise, to the fan base, to be prudent. You have to be. It's not necessarily about spending the money. It's spending the money wisely.
Spending the money on the right people. You overpay somebody, then you don't have the room to pay the next person.
Yeah.
You can paint yourself into a corner. The money's going to get spent.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So
but where and who and when?
Whatever players, if these guys don't do it, then you just get some other players in there and you pay them. And these guys will do it in terms of being competitive. I've got zero doubt on that. There's just too much talent not to be competitive.
Jeff says, Kessler, nothing. Go get Boozer. Still don't leave yourself with the real shot-blocking rim protector. You have some tall guys.
No, and the thing that I like about Kessler is that he's going to know his role, and he's going to embrace his role, understanding this is my value, this is why I'm paid, this is why I get playing time. And so he's going to be fully integrated, embracing it at the highest level. And I like that. They're going to have enough offense, and he can give you some offense. I mean, I can argue he's a better offensive player right now than Gobert.
Yes.
And with that in mind, he's probably not the defender and the shot-blocking presence yet. We'll see if he can get there. But offensively,
his ability to
he's
catch,
certainly less awkward.
Yes, I would just start with his ability to catch the ball.
Yeah. So he has a skill that a winning team can really, really use. I mean, you look at Mitchell for the Knicks, limited player, but that was his skill. That's all he provided, and he got a crucial offensive rebound off a missed free throw.
Fourth quarter, game 5, game on the line.
Right, and so you need those types of players who do that dirty work that isn't particularly glamorous on a box score, and it took Gobert years to get recognized for being that good at that particular skill. Whereas if he was scoring 25, well, that just jumps off the page right off the bat. Yeah, so there's not a lot of guys out there that can replace Kessler. So he has some bargaining power. And judging by his statement that he would like it to be here. And I get it, man. You've been here for 4 years. You do commercials. You probably got the same place you're living in, the same routine. And think about it, man. It's not a bad routine. You go to some of these other places, and you got to be at the arena at 4. You got to leave at 1.
Welcome to the big city and nightmare traffic.
Yeah. And here you don't. And unless you've been in those situations, I think some folks may take that for granted. That my wife drove me to work this morning. We're doing a thing here. Anyway, she drove me to work. And she said, man, there's more traffic. And we both kind of laughed because we lived in L.A. for a decade. And, yeah, there was more traffic than when I first started doing the show 5 years ago. But still, at no point did I have to tap the brakes.
Bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Just sitting there looking at the paint on the road.
Yeah. So
because you're not moving.
And there's a lot to be said for that, the convenience of it, the familiarity of it. So it's clear to me that he would like to stay, but it is a business. And so if you have to go, you have to go. My guess is, and that's all it is right now, is that he will be in a Jazz uniform this season, even if he has to take a little less. Because he's going to realize a little less is one heck of a lot.
How many teams are going to be able to offer him more, and what kind of situation is it? And does he really want that? But if I told you it's 80 or 90% he stays, you'd buy that. That's generally, that's what I've thought all along. But you never know. There could be an outlier deal coming. It happens every once in a while.
Well, I think a player like him, he's only going to go or only going to be offered in a winning situation. Because you're not going to throw big money at, not exclusively, but largely a one-dimensional player.
The defensive anchor had better have some scores around him.
Right, or what's the
Probably
point?
not the first piece of the puzzle you go get.
Right.
And Locke's point is there aren't that many teams with cap room.
I understand
Now,
that.
there's a possibility, someone could make a deal and open up some cap room.
There could be.
We'll see. But it's hard because if you're dumping salary, someone else has got to take it on. And it's, as Austin Ainge said, the squeeze has been on with the salary cap for a couple of years now. Contracts have become more important than talent, which isn't what basketball people would prefer, but they have had to live with it for a couple of years.
I don't know that it is. I disagree on that.
What?
That contracts are more important than talent.
They have been for a couple of years because owners have drawn a line on the no cap. I think we're getting to a point now where a few of those deals are expiring and the new TV money is going to kick in and start raising the cap, so we're going to see that ease a little bit.
If you're worried about contracts over talent, you're not going to win.
That is why
contracts don't win, talent wins.
And that's why the Knicks aren't going to repeat. They're going to start picking it apart, much as the Denver Nuggets did.
I don't think they're a great team anyway.
Right.
Things went their way this year. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not worried about what's going to happen next summer, next spring. But my philosophy is if you're worried about contracts, you're not winning because talent wins.
Jessica says the biggest problem, there's only so much cap space for the luxury tax. Will we always be the farm team for all the others to build great teams?
Well, so we have a problem, but they don't?
Apparently. Well, I would start with that. Are we the farm team for all the others to build great teams?
Who's left here that's gone on?
There you go, right? Gordon got hurt. It looked like a great matchup, but he got hurt, and then by the time he was healthy, they drafted somebody who was better, and he moved on, and it didn't matter.
They had two players who were better.
Yeah.
He overestimated his value in the league. He thought he was something special.
Yeah. I'm going to be the key piece of this puzzle.
And he was good. I'll give him that.
But he wasn't the key piece of the puzzle.
It's not like players like him are a dime a dozen, but clearly Boston showed we can get better than you. And they did.
And then in Cleveland, they just made the conference final, but I wouldn't label them a great team. They've made some progress. And Donovan has the ball and gets the shots and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think he really left here in a manner of Gordon Hayward.
It was different. I get it. But the point is, nonetheless, Jessica sees a player who she thinks is good and young, when he's young and he's not really expected to win at the highest level, you go through all the growing pains, the ups and downs, and then when he gets to his prime, when he's supposed to win, and granted, neither one of those guys went to the NBA Finals, let alone won a title, they're gone. So is there anybody else beyond those two? I mean, if you go back further, Boozer and D. Will?
What about them?
But they were good players
why are
who
we
left.
going back? I don't
because
know.
they were building towards something, and then it was over. And those players didn't win.
Everybody
big.
is building towards something. And players move around. And I'm trying to figure out how that's different here than any place else.
It happened to them. I mean, you're right. Young players do leave other places. But are we the farm team for all the others to build great teams?
Well, no. We don't, if we are the farm team for others to build great teams, that means we've got great players. Well, what great players? Get on my back, boys. I'm taking you to the finish line. How great are they is my point.
Oh, I don't think they are great. I think they're good.
Yeah.
But the best players the Jazz have had, 3 of whom were drafted. The other was a free agent after they got boozed out of Cleveland after a couple of years.
I don't know, man. I am so tired of living in the past here. We got Walker Kessler. We got. Are the Jazz gonna sign him? It's all about the future, man. And it's not. I'm not just going to keep going back and using examples and some statistical analysis that says ABC will always equal this. If that's the case, if this magical form of statistics are so foolproof and so guaranteed, then everybody would be doing it and there'd be no busts and no misses and everybody would be drafting because the analytics say this is the player because there's been no history that does this, that does this, that does this. I've spinning myself 20 feet under the ground doing this because all it is, you just figure out some analytical statistical analysis of these players, that players, blah, blah, blah. If only it were that simple, then anybody could do it.
So, Jessica, PK's answer is no. We will not always be the farm team. One day greatness will be here.
No statistical analysis of 35 games in college that shows A.J. DeBonta is going to be this or this. That's ridiculous. You can spin it any way you want. On its surface, that is a ridiculous assertion. That doesn't mean you do not look at that stuff and use that to your advantage, but to act like that is a panacea and everything is numbers driven and it'll show in the numbers. And I got Jalen Brunson over here saying they never judged my heart.
Including apparently his own dad.
They never judged my heart.
And the
now,
teams
what
he
he
played
should
for.
have done is he should have thrown right before heart an expletive to further emphasize the point.
So maybe one day.
One day what?
The greatness will be here. Just as one day it was in Milwaukee, one day it was in Denver, one day it was in Toronto. Places where they didn't have greatness for decades, and then suddenly they had their championship.
Right. And
now, is it going to be 60 or 70 years? Is it going to be 56 years because we're only 3 years away and we don't know it? Or is it going to be the Cubs and the Red Sox and it's going to be a century? Nobody knows. That's why we keep showing up to the games. You don't really know.
Keep doing the right things, and maybe this is not applicable to sports, but I've always felt if you keep working hard and you keep doing the right things and you're going to get knocked down and you're going to get undercut and you're going to be demoralized, all those things, some more than others, some have tougher paths. I get it. Some have far easier paths. But if that's the case, you just keep working and I believe your time will come.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
They've been doing it for a while.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Darren Peterson's camp thinks he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. In fact, the quote is they are very confident he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, so he doesn't need to come work out in Utah because he doesn't think he's going to be on the board.
I think it's foolish of Washington if that news is out. I think that really damages them, so way to go there. You don't have to assure anyone a dang thing. Why would you weaken your leverage?
The Wizards don't really have an angle of why this would want to come out.
We know where it's from,
Who
for
does
sure.
it benefit?
Yes.
The only person who this could actually benefit is Darren Peterson.
Yeah.
If he is looking at the draft boards and saying, oh man, I'm going to be the number 2 overall pick, that seems to be where everybody's leaning. So last gasp effort, Darren Peterson's camp says, we're canceling our workout with Utah to show Washington how invested we are with Washington, so they feel forced to take us.
Catch Jake and Ben afternoons from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Heading into Father's Day weekend, what has your attention?
Well, don't forget Juneteenth.
Juneteenth tomorrow. Holiday weekend for some people, including us.
That's all I care about.
Focus on the U.S. Open, the World Cup, something else. What has your attention this holiday weekend? Brett said, this holiday weekend, my Jeep has my attention. I need to fix a pesky fuel injection. Also, my son is visiting from Oahu, but, mostly just for his friends.
Well, if I have a pesky fuel injection issue, then I take it to somebody else.
No reason to get my hands dirty doing that.
Because I wouldn't have a clue.
We had a fuel injection car when I was a kid. And one day, my dad was driving my brother back.
You had a car?
And my dad was driving my brother back home. And my brother, who was probably...
Out of the slammer because he had been picked up?
He was probably 7 years old. I don't know where they were coming from or going to, but probably not the slammer. I think I'd remember that. He's like, Dad, how come there's smoke coming out of the car? And it was off the back right corner. And there's like, oh, and they pull over on this pretty busy road. And Dad walks around and looks and sees flames and reaches for the little fire extinguisher. But he hits it, it looks like it goes down, and then it restarts. Hits it, looks like it goes down, then it restarts. Somebody called the cops or called they probably called the police, called the fire, and eventually the whole car burned up. Something with the fuel injection was wrong. It was on a little hill, and the fuel kept feeding back into it, and he just couldn't put the thing out.
Rats.
So they climbed up the hill and watched the car burn to the ground. Yay! Barbecue.
To the ground.
To the ground.
That's dramatic.
Yeah, apparently it melted. Apparently the whole thing just kind of melted. So when you say pesky fuel injection issue, Brett, get that right.
Sure, take it to somebody.
Brett says, I'm also enjoying the summer, and then it'll be time for football. Go Utes.
Just enjoying the summer, which hasn't officially started yet.
Well, it feels like it starts when school is out if you have kids. Or when it cracks 80 degrees, which it has now. But you're right. Officially, we're not there.
Well, to me, it's always Memorial to Labor, whether they have kids or not, whether they're in school or not.
Most of Memorial hits, you're thinking summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when Labor comes, I think it's over. And I miss it. And I look forward again to it arrive the following year. It's a pattern. And then when fall hits and it's cooler, I think that's awesome. And then when that goes away, I miss it. It's just one big pattern. And the older you get, you realize, oh, I'm running out of falls. I'm running out of summers. And I miss them even more.
I want this to keep going. This has been fun.
Yeah.
And yet it doesn't always work that
And
way.
Thanksgiving weekend comes, and it goes, and I miss it. On and on. You got to enjoy the little things, man. Everybody would enjoy a trip around the world in some exotic 5-star hotel accommodations, blah, blah, blah. But it's the little stuff that makes the difference.
Elda says, I'm looking forward to the NHL draft.
That's not this weekend, though, is it?
It is not. That is next week with the NBA draft.
Right.
NBA's Tuesday, Wednesday, NHL's Thursday, Friday.
Right.
If you like drafts.
Well, I just put
next
the
week's your
weekend
week.
because certainly next weekend is all.
We know what the story is Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty clear.
Oh, yeah. Once we come back here on Monday, I mean, it is the whole week. Yeah, obviously. Particularly for the Jazz, because they've literally never been in this position, this group, after 4 years like this, and to have this opportunity to really, really reverse course. I mean, they've already reversed course. If they didn't have the pick, I would still expect them to be competitive next year. But with this pick, with this talent available, they have a chance to set the direction for the next decade to an extremely high level. That's how critical this is. And I like to mess around and get all hyperbolic and all that stuff. But I don't think in this case that's what I'm doing. I think it's an actual potential reality, and that's exciting.
Dr. Duncanstein just had a birthday earlier this week. That's the last time they had the number 2 pick. This is, to your point, a very rare opportunity.
With this talent already here.
Yeah, back then they were really starting at ground zero.
I don't know. I'm tired of going back in the history. I want to look forward.
Well, you get to look forward to whoever this is, maybe leading this team till 2040, if things work out right.
That's what I'm talking about. The opportunity is there. And I don't know what kind of team they had back then, but I do know they have a good team now. And you could add potentially the best piece, too. That's what's crazy. You have a good team now, and you could potentially add a great player that you got to give him a couple years to develop at least, and could end up being the best of the bunch. That's exciting.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Hit it, get it right, and you have your cornerstone.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Theoretically, he and Ace Bailey could both be the cornerstones.
Hopefully.
And go from there.
Yeah. And you've got really good players to bridge that gap until they're ready. So it's not like you have to roll your eyes and say, oh, my gosh, we got to wait again. We got to wait longer. No, I don't think you do. You have to wait for them to develop. I get it. But you could have a lot of good times along the way and a lot of competitive games. And this place across the street can really, really be rocking in a manner that we haven't seen in a good while. And they, fan base did a good job filling it up these past 4 seasons. But now the intensity in it will be something that will be far greater. And knowing that these players are not going to sit, you're going to go to the arena, and I'm not going to see the big guy with his hair all curled up in some nice outfit. No. I want to see him sweating.
It's not a fashion show.
I want to see Mark
in uniform.
I want to see Marketing get it as ugly as he possibly can. Yes, I do.
Get ugly.
Right.
That is the slogan.
Yeah.
For 2026-27.
I want to see him.
Jazz basketball. Get ugly.
Gassed. I want to see him, his uniform sweaty, his hair messy. If he wants to smile after a win. Yeah. And have the gal interview him on the wins, on the court, doing that stuff. Yeah. And I think there's an excellent chance that that's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. This team is really set up nicely you've got good players, potentially all-star players, who can help you bridge the gap until Ace Bailey is really ready and A.J. DeBonsa is really ready. And a lot of teams have tried that, and then Warriors, man, they just botched all these recent picks, practically one after another. And you can score and not botch it, and you can have these 2 picks. You have 2 top 5 picks. Like, that's what the Spurs are doing. They're all top 5 picks.
They hit on 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah. Right. Now, you don't have 2 of them, but you could argue, well, wait a second here. You had traded for Jackson. He was a top 5 pick. He's only 26 years old. So you could have the 3 top 5 picks.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. You do just what the Spurs have done. And I get Wembanyama is really good, but the other guys haven't really proven that they're really, really good. Dylan Harper looks like, okay.
If they didn't have Wembanyama there, they would be scrapping to make the playoffs or the play-in. I mean, who would they have instead? They'd have somebody, so it's hard to know.
Right.
But these guys carrying it every night, would they get to 50? You wouldn't think so.
But you could make a
40-win
strong
team.
argument that you're not going to have the Wembanyama. I get that. But the other top 5 picks are better players than the Spurs' top 5 picks.
There is a debate, and there's no real answer to this, so it's a perfect question for you. Right now, is it most important? For a long time in the NBA, it's been most important how good is your best player, because the best player tends to win a series. There have been so many playoff series that has been true. But now, because the best player gets so much of the salary cap and who's around him, does it become more important about who's your weakest link on the court?
I hear what you're saying.
And the Knicks, did they have the best player in the NBA? No. But they could run a team out there where there weren't really a lot of weak links to pick on. And then Brunson gets hot on top of that, and there's no real weakness. Now you're in a pretty good spot. And so going forward, is that a way you can build and should build? I mean, you really want both, right? The Chicago Bulls never had a weak link, and they had Jordan. So.
If you can't get both, then that's the most likely the best way to be as good as you can be.
You love your baseball analogies. If you can't get a bunch of pitchers and go 7-8 innings, build a better bullpen. And that has been, first it was get a closer, then it was get a guy for the 8th inning, get a guy for the 7th, now you get a guy for the 6th, multiple guys. And so it's get the outs a different way. And I think that's maybe basketball's trending a little bit in that direction. It's a pretty small sample size, but maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah, I could argue that Brunson, though, was the best player on the floor.
That can be argued, and it will be argued, and that's why I said this small sample size and there's no way to know for sure. And maybe both ways are valid, and it'll just depend on the year. Like you said, who gets the breaks, and a team that's built differently might win.
Yeah.
All right, DJ and PK coming up next. U.S. Open Golf Championship is underway. Brian Taylor is there. We're going to talk with him next. Stay with us right here on The Zone.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.